Great job. Look at Chapman. Gonna make it 3 wide. Taking the lead. Live here from Talladega Super Speedway. This is the NAOR series live on JCTV. I'm Josh Copperell. I'm joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn and Jonathan Canfield. How you guys doing?
Evening, guys. I'm doing well. Excited to do another Talladega doubleheader here tonight on JCTV. Should be another exciting one in the NARO series, and the Xfinity car is always such a blast no matter where we go, but especially restricted plate racing. And Jonathan, we got something special tonight for the show.
Yes, we do. I'm here for now. I'm doing well, guys, but you guys are gonna get pretty lonely here for the second race. I will be jumping behind the wheel again, and hopefully putting my number 16 in the front, and you guys will be talking to me in victory lane by the end of it.
All right. Well, before we get any further with introductions, I actually want to bring in somebody to do a little interview with. Couldn't catch him last week, but we got him this week, and it's almost time for qualifying, so we're going to make this very quick. Donald Kay, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. So, I just want to say how amazed I am with how much better you have gotten. I think I can speak on behalf of a lot of people that have noticed that you have gotten so much better throughout the season so far, and a couple of top 5 finishes in your back pocket now. So, what's it like for you out there?
Oh, it's good to get some top 5s. It's really I'm just happy to be racing with the company that I'm around, like Chris and Nick and all them, because it's fun. It's nice to get a top 5, but really, am I able to compete with those guys? That's what my big concern is. It's cool to get the numbers on the board, but if I can be like when we were at, I forget what the track was called. I'd never been there before, but we were in Japan, and I just held up Chris for like 30 laps or whatever, just holding him off. So it's fun to race those guys and not crash them for a change. So yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, I won't keep you long, but one more question I do have is we come here to Talladega for a doubleheader. You've got 2 opportunities here to, for racing where it's a lot different than what we've seen in the past. So what's kind of the goal here tonight?
Well, anytime I come to a plate track on iRacing, it's honestly, I'm going to school, because, on the console, I could bump draft, I can get bump drafted, no problem. But it's a completely different animal over here, so I'm really just trying to make sure I have enough car control to be able to get attached to somebody's bumper, or even if somebody gets attached to me, without wiping everybody out. So I love coming to the plate tracks. I've had a lot of success in the past on the games, but doing it on the sim, I really just want to learn the car control so I can maybe in the future become successful at these places as well.
All right, well, we won't hold you up any longer. We'll let you get back down in there, and good luck to you.
Appreciate you guys calling the race.
Yeah, thank you. And that was Donald Kite, driver of the 39 machine. But we are underway in qualifying, and Tyler Ratliff going to be the first across the line. Now, it's actually going to be Kenneth Cheney that's the first across the line. So Cheney so far P1 on the board. Guys, real quick, who's your pick to win?
And it's such a toss-up in the air with it being a restrictor plate track. Got a lot of new names in the race tonight too, Josh. I'm going to go with someone we see in the series a lot. See him up front every once in a while. Not a lot of good fortune though in the last couple of weeks, especially start of this year. Enrique Canona's been out a couple of last weeks, but had a pretty good run at the All-Star race at Rockingham a few weekends ago, and I think he's going to carry that momentum a little bit. Good run at New Hampshire too, and he's going to carry it tonight.
I'm going to go with a driver we seen last week make, I believe was his debut start, and has come back again this week to race again. And I had a little bit of drama with Cole Snyder last week, but we're going to look past that and look at the speed that he had last week, and I think he's going to have some speed this week with his car control. I'm going to look at the 00 Pacey Wygant. Look to see him up front and possibly winning this first race.
I'm going to go with the driver of the number 17, Zachary Meredith. He is no stranger to victory lane, especially not in the not a stranger in the NAOR series. I think anybody has a chance to win tonight. I think Zachary Meredith, he's going to be the one up front when it matters most. Take the check flag. Now, of course, guys, we mentioned this is a doubleheader. So, you know, I'm thinking here we're going to see a couple of different races tonight, right? You know, and we mentioned this, Adam, you and I kind of did when we were doing the Talladega doubleheader in the BSR ITPN Truck Series a few weeks ago. I mentioned how real NASCAR talks about when they do the Daytona duels, their qualifying races for the Daytona 500, that seems like one race is calm, one race is more chaotic. You know, and you're taking different drivers in there for each race. I think we might see something like that here tonight, despite the fact that, you know, it's going to be the same drivers in both races. Now, give or take a couple of names, but I think overall we're going to see drivers drive differently from one race to the other. We may see a calmer race in race 1 and more of a chaotic race in race 2, or vice versa. I think people are going to learn the importance of saving their car early to make sure they get to the end in the races. So, I don't know. I think we're in for an interesting show tonight. And these guys, they are amazing competitors anyway.
Yeah, and you mentioned a couple weeks ago, about a month or so ago by now, the BSR series. We mentioned Tesla Show did a doubleheader here at Talladega, and kind of different races, like you mentioned. One was calm, the other one was chaotic the entire way through, and neither one of them ended green, though, crashes at the very end in both. I'm just going to be very curious to see what Jonathan has to view for this opening race before he goes out on the racetrack in race number 2 and competes with all these guys.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if I end up in the calmer or the more chaotic of the two races. I agree with Josh 100%. You can kind of end up with a double-edged sword when you end up in a doubleheader like this, where you get a race that can go green, and then you end up with a race that you seem like you can't get a lap in without a caution. So I'm very interested to see how this first race goes, but also this first race could make me very nervous for this second race.
So, would you rather be in a calm race where there's not a lot of movement going on, or would you rather be in a more chaotic race where it is side by side, you have a lot of movement, but it looks like anybody can crash at any time?
I'd say I like the survival of the fittest mindset the best. That's usually my strategy with super speedway races, is hang out and avoid the big crashes and be there at the end when it counts. I mean, that movement and that jockeying for position is definitely wanted for somebody like me who doesn't like to run up front the entire race. But I think most of the time, most drivers would tell you they want a calm race at a super speedway. They want to make it to the end, which, like I said, that's my strategy most times, is to keep it calm and make it to the end. But being that driver, you also want the chaos and the cautions to happen so that some drivers, the thin field's out. Or the field thins out, yes. Go ahead, laugh at me for that.
I'll be honest, it didn't even click in my mind what you said until you corrected me.
It didn't either. Brain cells did not happen there. But I agree that
we're all tired.
Yeah, I agree that I definitely want to be in the calmer of the two races and not have the chance of being caught up in a wreck. But at the same time, if I'm going to be in the crazier of the two, I don't want to be in the wreck.
Yeah, and you know, as qualifying is getting pretty close, coming to a close here, I want to say, you know, when I'm racing here at like Talladega, Daytona, and I guess you could throw New Atlanta in there as well, I want to be up front. I want to be up towards the front, because realistically, at races like this, wrecks can happen anywhere. I've wrecked from the lead before, single file even, just a push gone wrong off of turn 2, and this was actually a Daytona 500. But you know, I would like to be up front because you have a better chance of a wreck happening behind you than you know, having it happen right in front of you and not really know where to go. I'm all right with being in a crazy race, as long as it's behind me and I'm running up front. That's all I want. But qualifying, 11 seconds left. It looks like Jose Ruiz is going to get the pole. Chris Wright looking like he's going to start on the outside of row 1. And that appears to be what it's going to be. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. It's going to be Jose Ruiz on the pole, Chris Wright on the outside of row 1. Joshua Arnold will start P3 with Jamil Hawkins P4, and Nick Apiak will start from the 5th position. Adam?
Byron Jones starts alongside him on row 3, with Cole Snyder and Tyler Ratliff sharing row 4. Casey Wygant in the 00 is gonna Pacey Wygant, excuse me, in the 00 is gonna start in the 9th position, with Mike Campbell rounding out the top 10 starting spots.
Next on the order, you've got at 37 of Jeff Lednum in the 11th position. To his outside, you've got Kenneth Cheney. Benjamin Staples is going to be next in line. To his outside, you're going to have the 20 of Hunter Peach. Enrique Quinones is going to be in the 15th starting spot. And then you've got Rodney Ayers to his outside in the 16th spot. Zachary Meredith in the 17th spot. Matthew Stotts to his outside in the 18th spot. And the last qualifier is going to be Chase McGuire starting in the 19th position. Josh?
And his outside is going to be Nathan Lehman starting in 20th. 21st is going to be Hunter Senior and Donald Kite is outside. Zachary Wareham and Austin Allen rounding out the field. And that is going to be your starting lineup here for race number 1 at Talladega.
Can you feel the tension throughout the field yet, guys? I feel a little bit of a nervous energy throughout the field, honestly. I think there's a lot of newer drivers that this typical field we see in NAOR is going to have to get used to. And for these newer drivers, you can feel their energy with coming into a race of guys that have raced together before.
These races always are very unpredictable from the get-go. Everybody wants a calm race, but doesn't mean that we're going to see a calm race.
And as the field comes around, some important notes as far as if we do have cautions, it's going to require every lead lap car to come down the pit lane. Not saying they need to take tires, they need to take fuel or anything throughout this race, but the reason behind that happening is if a driver is involved in a wreck and they become a lap down car. This league has no lucky dog, but has wave around. So if everyone comes down pit road on the lead lap, that gives those wave around cars an opportunity to get their lap back. So as we have cautions tonight, guys, we will see pit stops, but whether or not they stop in the box or not, we will have to see.
It's going to be interesting. See what kind of strategy people pull out tonight. They're coming around through turns 3 and 4. 28 laps is the distance for both races. Race fans, we're getting ready. Go green at NASCAR's biggest, scariest track on the schedule. Jose Ruiz has the field in hand. And they're getting ready through the restart zone. Green flag in the air. We are underway here at Talladega. Already push on that outside lane from Hawkins, trying to get to Wright's back bumper, but that inside lane is just prevailing as now you've got the bottom 3 lined up. Good Capiak, he's clear of Wright. Almost bring Cole Snyder in there. Capiak, Arnold, they move high.
Oh, Cole Snyder wobbly there on the top lane on the back straightaway. Jose Ruiz is going to duck down and lose a couple spots there, but you mentioned the inside was a little bit ready there. Joshua Arnold and Nick Capiak pushing Jose Ruiz to the green flag and able to jump out and take the lead here early on.
And as that was happening, I noticed 00 Pacey Wygent. He dropped down to the apron, and he's going to go sit in the back. Hopefully he doesn't lose the draft here, but I don't mind the gamesmanship being played there to maybe say I want to make it to the end of this first race.
Kind of interesting. Chris Wright moved up with Cole Snyder. I thought those two were going to work together. Chris Wright pulled back into line. Now Cole Snyder, he's going to sit and duck. Look at That's Jamil Hawkins. He's going to go to the outside, leave Cole Snyder in the middle, hung out to dry. No help.
Oh, and he's got help now, and that's going to set up 3x3 here in the corner, leaving, I can't see the numbers with my camera angle, but it's a blue car, I believe. That is, let me see if I can figure that out before I give a wrong name and make somebody upset.
The 13, Tyler Ratliff.
Yeah, that was Tyler Ratliff, stuck on the outside. Kind of got hung out there as they go back 2x2. But interesting that they're willing to jockey it up here so soon and go 3 wide.
front. Josh Arnold, he has the lead. He actually won race 1 of a doubleheader back at Bristol. He's being pushed by Nick Hapiak, but outside lane, Jamil Hawkins, Byron Jones, they're trying to make some noise out there. Cole Snyder helping as well on that 24.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that many cars running that top lane. We saw it didn't work out there on the initial start, but it's been grouped up there with Jamil Hawkins leading that charge. We've seen that 4 car so fast, and just the few races he's made here in this NAOR series, just limited starts, but know he has a ton of speed, and he's shown again tonight with Byron Jones right on his back bumper.
Yeah, and that's typical Talladega racing right there. The bottom line normally gets formed up first and gets the better of the restarts, but you give it 2-3 laps here, and that top line will form up and start coming in. And not surprised here to see them 2x2 going around the track as they come into 3 and 4.
Tell you what, that top lane looks more organized. There's a big gap on the bottom.
Yeah, that's the, I believe you're talking about the gap that the 23 of Jose Ruiz is leaving between himself and Chris Wright, and that might just be the difference maker right now between this bottom lane being less formed up and the top lane being more formed.
It's a bigger gap behind Benjamin Staples. Back to Kenneth Cheney. Cheney is closing in now, but outside lane, I think it's a lot better off is Jamil Hawkins. He does take the race lead, and that 2 machine, Byron Jones, he wanted to follow Hawkins down there. There was not enough room, though.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what happened there on the back straightaway from the camera angle we were looking at, but when Hawkins was clear of Joshua Arnold, Arnold led that bottom line just a little bit below the double yellow, and everyone just kind of had to check up there for another extra second, and that allowed Hawkins to easily clear and try and bring Byron Jones with him, but Byron wanted to leave that outside lane himself, and he's going for the lead on the outside lane with a little bit of push from Cole Snyder, but Hawkins still charging the field with Joshua Arnold looking through the middle a little bit down the back straightaway.
Right now, advantage to Hawkins. Arnold doing a great job pushing Hawkins. A little bit of separation back behind Cole Snyder. Outside lane not as good as it was a couple laps ago.
Another thing we're going to have to watch for, guys, is who's keeping an eye on those temps as they're pushing, and will we see anybody blow their engine for pushing too hard here tonight?
It's possible. These races are short. Some of these drivers may not even give it a thought. But I will say we've had some happen to Chase McGuire sitting down at pit road. I think it's a little bit calm for the moment. I mean, they're still 2x2, but giving each other a lot of room, and we'll see a whole lot of shuffling around back there.
I was able to go back and check on what happened to that number 7 of Chase McGuire, and it just looks like internet issues caused him to pull it down pit lane. Hopefully we'll see him in the second race, though, with better internet luck.
It's not a fun situation.
As right now, it looks like some of these guys are peeking to that third lane. We have 2 drivers out there right now, and it looks like that is the 13. He's going to hop out there. We got some drivers up top. Might be 3x3 here very soon as the 9 also jumps out.
This is going to be interesting. I think everybody wanted that wall left the middle kind of dry. Only 4, 5 drivers in the middle line right now. And that middle has become the top. Byron Jones and the crew goes up to block that run. Tyler Ratliff.
Oh, and the
Oh,
13 makes a big move to get to the bottom there from the top lane.
It's kind of spread out for the moment now. I think they saw it was a little crazy, and it looks like they're forming back up, trying to make some moves. See back here, Donald Kite and Hunter Senior. They are trying to make something happen.
And Donald Kite started, I believe, back row inside. So he's making his way up here now as we are going to come across for lap 11 of the race. Almost to halfway, but not quite yet.
Back up, watching the lead. It's still the same. Jamil Hawkins leading the inside line. Byron Jones leading the outside. Cole Snyder trying to do what he can to get Jones ahead. Somebody's down on the apron.
I believe it was Matthew Stotts, and another car up there at the top lane was just dicing. I believe it was Kenneth Cheney, top of the field, was dicing all over the place down the back straightaway, just trying to get out of the way, I believe, and everyone was still trying to follow.
That was Matthew Stotts in the 47, but showing 51. But up here, new leader, and Cole Snyder goes down to the bottom. He is going to make the move where Byron Jones stayed up high. So just the moment Jones gets the lead, it goes to Cole Snyder, now being pushed by Jamil Hawkins. And here comes that outside line led by Byron Jones. Once again, Donald Kite moves out of line.
And he takes about 4 or 5, maybe 6 cars with him to that wall. We'll see if they can build up enough steam to get a run on these 3 that are in the middle. Make that 4 now, as that appears to be the 10 car. 10 on the doors. Benjamin Staples jumps into that middle line. So now it's a 3-car chain up top. We'll see how this works out.
Jones almost clear of Cole Snyder. Cole quickly gets back to the inside of Jones. Now we are 3 wide for the race lead. Jones fading back. Donald Kite leading on the outside line. He's going to have help from that 33 Hunter Senior. Kenneth Cheney as well riding with them. They're trying to get down to the middle line. Not quite able to. Byron Jones is still there, but here comes Cole Snyder back from the bottom. They're coming to 15 laps to go here in race number 1 at Talladega.
That middle lane did an excellent job last lap, Jonathan, on just letting the Donald Kite just go around on the outside, because it got very tight there last lap in 1 and 2. A little bit more spread out here with the bottom lane more bunched up.
I was just getting ready to say, bottom lane more organized. As we come across the line for this next lap, we will be halfway, so expect to see, we already seen some 3x3, but expect to see it get a little more dicey. And oh, as the 71 goes up, and I believe that was a little bit close between him and Hunter Senior, but they keep it together, and we're still 3x3.
Yeah, you said dicey, and that was very, very close. I thought that that was going to be the case right there, but Tell you what, Senor and Kite, they're holding on strong. Right now it is Byron Jones with the advantage. That bottom line not organized. Right now, middle line has the advantage, and that is led by Byron Jones. Oh, Mike Gamble! He stepped out of line.
Yeah, Mike Campbell in that 71 has had quite a few moments being that second car in the middle lane. Car has gotten very loose on him, it looks like, just being right there in the middle of the track with cars on each side of him, and now he's got his teammate, it looks like, on the inside of him, who have at least similar design paint schemes.
That time by it was Cole Snyder leading the way. Byron Jones.
Be interested to see if any of these guys from the back decide to jump up into these outside lanes and maybe make it a bigger pack. I'm surprised to see the inside lane as formed as they are. And Byron Jones, as you were just probably getting ready to mention there, Josh, he almost had an advantage there over Cole Snyder.
Yeah, that middle line now has Kenneth Cheney, and at that top line, it is dissipating as Hunter Senor, he goes down behind Cheney. I expect Kite to do the same. He does, so right now it's 2 working lanes. Staples, he's not giving up on that high line just yet. I think this very well might be the calm before the storm, though.
Very well might be, but I was very impressed with everyone when everything got 3x3 that it was able to resolve from that and not immediately cause a crash as soon as everyone got 3 wide. This pack seems pretty tight-knit now, though, guys. This is like the closest I think the whole field has been since the drop of the green.
Certainly is very tight-knit as you see the 22 trying to start a run up on the wall side of the track. That third lane, he's trying to make it work. Josh Arnold wants to get back to the front, and he's bringing with him that 33 of Hunter Senor, and behind him, I believe, is Donald Kite. They're trying to make some steam up on the top.
Yeah, Senor and Kite back up on the top. They were there a couple laps ago. What got them to the lead 2 or 3 laps ago. Here they come. Huge run on the backstretch. Josh Arnold went up there, and he's going to get that lead from that big push. At least going into turn 3, Cole Snyder looks like he has a little bit more momentum off of 4 guys.
Look at the background. A lot of drivers moving that high line. They left Kenneth Cheney in the middle. Now we're getting some more guys going from the bottom all the way to the middle. Kind of shuffling around. 10 laps to go here. These guys, they're thinking it's go time, possibly.
In a racer's mindset, this is go time because it takes so long. If you're that 4th, 5th car in line right now, you need to make some moves and get yourself to the front, and it takes so long to set that up. You need to push some drivers to the front and hope that they change lanes and hang you out so you can get help from behind and get yourself to the front.
Oh man, if they can hold this for 10 laps, I think we're in for a very interesting finish. Josh Arnold still continues to lead the high line. Byron Jones in the middle, and Cole Snyder leading the low line. At high line, he does not have the steam right now. Kenneth Cheney jumps up to the high line, though. Byron Jones. He was ahead. Oh, little bobble there. That's 71. That's Mike Campbell. He keeps it going straight.
Seeing more and more drivers as they're in that third line kind of pop that outside wall entering turn 3. That could be the start of a wreck one of these times if they hit it a little too hard.
Kenneth Cheney went all the way down to the bottom. Cole Snyder had a huge run back to the back of Kenneth Cheney, jumped out of line. Now Cole Snyder in the middle line. Cole Snyder will lead that lap. Let's see what Cole does here. He's not quite clear of Cheney. Well, that middle lane rather gets such a good run down the straightaways. Wondering if Cole's going to get clear of Cheney just before 3 and hop on down there, if he's going to stay in front of Jones. Right now, no movement. And there it is, down in front of Cheney.
That was a textbook move right there. Just sweep to the bottom of the track once you get to the corner, block off that line. Let's see what he does when he washes off of turn 4. No stage at the bottom. Going to roll up slowly off the straightaway, but he can't do it because Byron Jones was there. And here comes Joshua Arnold with the 3 wide for the lead again.
Give it that time to Byron Jones. Joshua Arnold was not far behind, though. And right now, the middle lane has what appears to be more cars in it than the top and the inside lane. As the 71 of Mike Campbell jumps to the inside, he wants to make it go time. He wants to lead a lap here. He will jump down to the inside lane.
In my mind, I saw a wreck happening. In reality, they didn't, and I have no idea how they didn't. That was a great job by them. Oh, Josh Arnold moving in the middle. He wants some action. He goes down to the bottom in front of Chris Wright. Where in the world did Chris Wright come from?
This time the 69 car's been up front all race, Josh, and he popped right there out of nowhere to get to second. Like you mentioned, right on Josh Arnold's deck. We're trying to go for the lead here, but you mentioned that big, almost wreck in turn 1 a lap ago. Mike Campbell going for the lead. Thought that was a phenomenal job on his part. It didn't pay out. The bottom lane had no momentum as soon as he got down there. Now he's 3rd in line again.
Hunter Peach looking to make that 3rd lane work with Senor and Kite. They're not quite together just yet, but that middle line is. Byron Jones making some steam happen to get nose to nose with Josh Arnold.
Jonathan mentioned on the opening lap, Pacey Widgeon on the inside lane dropped all the way to the back, and here he is up into the 5th position here with coming to 5 laps to go, probably the perfect spot in their mind to be for these last couple laps. Let's see if it's going to pay out for the 0-0.
Absolutely, my pick to win, and he found his spot at the right time, and I think he's in the right place. 3rd car on that outside line. If these 2 guys in front of him get clear, I see them both jumping down, and maybe Pacey stays out there and beats them both, but we'll see how it shakes out here. Lap 24 coming to 25 of 28.
Hunter Peach with a huge run on the top down the back straightaway. Tyler Ratliff, I believe, behind him.
Indeed, that is Ratliff, as well as Senor and Staples, all making that high line work, or at least attempting to. Byron Jones still leading the middle. Joshua Arnold still leading the bottom line. Right now, Byron Jones with the advantage. 4 laps to go. Talladega in the first race of this doubleheader. It's still anybody's race.
A lot of movement throughout the pack as they go down that back straightaway. A lot of guys struggling to keep straight. Even in the corners here, moving around a lot. A lot of guys pushing too, trying to get their desired lane to the front. Getting aggressive here as we come across the line, lap 26. Getting ready to get started.
It's getting to the point where it's going to be super hard to make a move if you're locked in by another car, bottom or top. Right now, I think Meredith has the best opportunity to try to make something happen by going to the high line.
That hole closed up. Hunter Peach is there now.
Hunter Peach is there. They're still 3 wide. Byron Jones could move down if he chooses to. He stays where he's at, quite content being in front of Meredith.
I think you're right, Josh. I think we have to watch that 17 because that top lane right now doesn't have enough cars. It doesn't have enough momentum. And in the center of the corner, Meredith can pop out perfectly right there and get in front of Peach and carry the momentum down the front straightaway. It could work out that way. We're 2 laps away from seeing whose plan is going to work out here. We got more cars going up to that top lane, though.
Only 2 cars are nose to tail until Senor gets there. Is anybody going to have time to make a move? Pacey Wygent all over the back bumper of Meredith. Coming off turn 4. Hunter Peach trying to get a run. Go ahead, John.
It appears we're going to be able to make it to take the white as we come across the line 3 by 3. They are. White flag out.
White flag is in the air indeed. Byron Jones led that lap. Hunter Peach just barely getting second. Can that outside make enough noise to beat Byron Jones? What's going to happen here? That inside lane struggling hard. Does Meredith pull out a line to go to the bottom? Tyler Ratliff all over the back bumper of Hunter Peach. Meredith and Jones, they move to the bottom line. Peach goes to the middle. They're wrecking. A lot of carnage happening. It's going to be
Race
close.
is still on
They're
up front.
wrecking for the win. It's going to be Pacey Wygent. I think if he gets there, it will be
Oh
Pacey
my
Wygent.
goodness.
Winner number 50 in NAOR series history goes to Pacey Wygent.
And I get a pick. I hit. Wow. Awesome job by Pacey Wygent to miss the wreck and then just keep his foot in it and make it to the finish line.
They all started crowding together in turn 3, and Pacey was right there in the middle of it. The second lane, crowding down in the bottom a little bit, but that's what you have to do. You gotta cut off the space of everyone else, and all 3 lanes were just trying to blend in together into one there. And like you mentioned, Jonathan, he avoided the carnage and gets through the front straightaway. More carnage there, and away with the win.
All right, real quick, before I forget to do it, our finishing order and or for this race here, Pacey Wygent with the win, Tyler Ratliff P2, Jeff Lednum brings it home P3, Jose Ruiz P4, Benjamin Staples P5, Chris Wright 6th, Dawson Allen coming home in 7th, Byron Jones 8th, Donald Kite 9th, Hunter Peach 10th, Rodney Ayers 11th, Will Snyder 12th, Kenneth Cheney 13th, Mike Campbell 14th, Nick Capiak 15th, Hunter Senor 16th, Jamil Hawkins 17th, 18th goes to Enrique Quinones, Josh Arnold bringing it home 19th, Zachary Meredith 20th, Matthew Stotts 21st, Chase McGuire 22nd, and Nathan Lehman and Zachary Wareham did not start. So, I believe Chase McGuire will be our pole sitter. Of course, it goes from last to first with Wareham and Lehman not gridding there or making a lap. I do not believe that they will be on the front row. Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner, Pacey Wygent. And you know what? You're about to race out there. We'll let you do an interview with him anyway. John.
Sure.
Absolutely, and we've got our race winner here, Mr. Pacey Wygent. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boss.
Well, I don't know if you were watching the stream or not, but you were my pick to win this race. I seen the speed you had last week, and I picked you for this race. Go ahead, walk us through this first race here and what your strategy was to get you to the front.
Strategy was just riding the back for the first, 95% of it and then come through. I was just sitting there following Zach Meredith all the way up. I mean, I don't really know how I won. All I know is it said P1 next to that 00. So about it.
Wow.
Dega.
Yeah, it is Talladega. Great job to you. And going into this second race, any strategy change, or are you just going to stick with the same strategy and hope that it works out for your second race?
I don't really know how I. Well, luckily I'll be starting in the back, so I guess we'll just stick with the same strategy, see what goes on.
One final thing before we will let you go here. Who gets a dud for you in the 00 camp? Shout outs, thank yous you got to give.
My fiance, she's always watching. You guys for doing this whole thing, and teammates Byron Jones, Zach Meredith, and just everybody CCR.
Absolutely, and I'll see you out there for the second race because I'll be in it. But Pacey Wygent here, winner, race number 1 of our doubleheader, the NAOR series.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get your closing thoughts there on race number 1, John.
If the next race is that kind of a race, I'm excited to be in it. Expect to see me making some kind of moves. I do know that Zach Wareham, who is my unofficial teammate over here, but a teammate nonetheless, he'll be out there. So hopefully he and I can work together, and we're going to try and put it to the front. I told these guys I was going to come in and kick their you-know-whats, but we'll see if I can actually do it.
All right, we'll let you get prepared for that, and so we wish you luck.
Absolutely, guys, and hope to be talking to you at the end of it.
All right. So, Adam, it's you and I now. What was your thoughts there on that race?
Well, unfortunately for John's sake, I think that was the calm of the two. If we do indeed get 2 opposite races tonight, that was a great race, though. To be honest, Josh, I was very competitive all the way through, and we didn't get a crash into the very end, which shocked me. So that was very, very pleasant to see. Not the crash, though. Very pleasant to see them all make it to the white flag at least. And speaking of that crash, it looks like I said before on the cooldown lap, it looks like everyone was just going for the same piece of real estate, and I think Nick Hapiak was the first to spin after Josh Arnold was kind of much pinched, and then Zachary Meredith spun out, and then all kind of chaos broke up from there. But really, no one could really do anything different. You're racing for the win at Talladega.
Most definitely. Well, we're going to go on a quick break, and you don't have to go anywhere, guys. We are going to just step to the side. I am going to be putting up the logo, the series logo, and we're going to be getting into the next session because it is a separate session from this one. So it'll only be about 5 minutes of standby. So we'll be there. We'll be back shortly. great job. Look at Chapman. Gonna make it 3 wide. Taking the lead. Back here live from Talladega Superspeedway in the let's try that again, in the NAOR series at Talladega. Race 1, of course, won by Pacey Wygant in the 00 machine. We're about to get ready for race number 2 here. Don't worry, it is not 45 minutes away. We are going to be getting ready to go racing here very, very soon. But Adam, you and I, we were not correct on our picks in race 1. Canfield was correct on his pick in race 1, but he's won all the second races in the doubleheader that we've had so far. If not, it's just about almost every single one. Chris Wright, he is my pick to win for this race. Of course, this is a different style of track than what we've seen in the past with race 2s. I think Chris Wright, he's the one to watch out for. Take the win here, Talladega. And actually, I am wrong. Suzuka, of course, had 2 first-time winners in that doubleheader. Chris Wright did not win that second race, but he won. He won the second race at Bristol, Indianapolis, and I think, is that all the doubleheaders we've had so far other than Suzuka?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that's correct. This is also our last doubleheader of the season as well. We've got a couple of races that are double point events. Those will be the last 2 races of the season, but this is the last of the doubleheaders. So the field is rolling. And they are getting into their positions. Of course, it is opposite of how they finished in race number 1. So Chase McGuire will be on the pole for this one. Matthew Stotts will be on the outside. Row 1. Stotts, we didn't really hear from him in race 1 much, but he's a name that if you are a fan of JCTV, you will recognize from the BSR In the Pits News Truck Series. Good to see Stotts out here racing something different. as they still sort out their positions. Even though it's showing the pace car going in, I don't think we're actually going this time.
No, as in the other doubleheaders we have had this season, I believe it's 2 laps at the start of the race to get everyone in the right position.
So yeah, we are not going this time. So everybody's still pacing at the moment. I will say though, you know, we did not expect Dawson Allen to return for this race. He has work in the morning, and by morning I mean pretty early. He was, I'm kind of shocked he even did the first race, but he's going to be doing the second race as well now, so Dawson Allen going to be stocking up on some energy drinks in the morning. I want to know how he's going to perform here in race number 2, and also Canfield. You know, the one thing that I like about Canfield sitting the first race in the booth is because he got to watch and learn. And you know, obviously driving the car is a great way to learn, but I think watching from the outside at plate races especially is a great way to really learn how these cars handle in the draft, how well moves can be made, what the side draft is like. So yeah, the best way to learn is by being in the car, but I still think it's an advantage watching a race. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing Canfield in this one. And he's got a very beautiful United States Marines Mustang there. The only thing wrong with it is that blue oval on it, and I'm talking about the Ford logo. Green flag is going to be in the air. We are underway here from Talladega. Chase McGuire, he got a good launch, and Matthew Stotts tucked it into line.
Jamal Hawkins, though, who led quite a bit of that first race on the outside lane there with Josh Allen, thought they were going to be able to tuck in line there, but they got a good run steaming here down the back straightaway. Actually, Matthew Stotts is going to poke out a line from that second spot, like we saw him do a little bit earlier in that first race, and that's going to allow Zachary Meredith to close up on Chase McGuire.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Arnold and Hawkins are going to be clear for the lead here, and they take that bottom lane into 2 and 3.
Oh, Hawkins moving up to the outside. Arnold wanted to go, not quite. He's not. He does. I didn't think he was going to get back down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Hawkins, he has the race lead, and now give it to Quinones on the outside. Nope, Hawkins jumps back up to the high line. And Arnold with the run. What is Hawkins going to do here? Does he play the block game?
Kenneth Cheney, about 10 cars in line, got popped out for a second. I think it's Dawson Allen behind him had to allow him back in through 2 and 2. They all sort that through, so it's still 2 by 2 throughout the field.
Back up for Josh Arnold. He's going to have the edge over Hawkins through the corner. Oh. Quinones jumps out of line. That's not going to help the outside line at all. They're going to be 3 wide, give the advantage to Hawkins at the line. I don't think Quinones wanted to go out there.
I don't think so. He's going to get a good break here by, I believe it's Cole Snyder, letting him in line right there. That third car on the outside is now. Yeah, excuse me, Jimmo Hawkins. No, Jimmo Hawkins leading the lane, excuse me. Quinones had to fall to third there with that moment. Nick Hapiak was eager to take that second position on the outside lane, and Chase McGuire was still sitting there second on the inside, pushing Josh Arnold back to the lead.
These two are battling side by side. You know, I feel like we're still in that first race, like nothing has changed.
Yeah, a lot of familiar names right back up front, and Hunter Peach, third lane all by himself, making passes. Got another car, I believe it's Ratliff, way back. He's gonna have a huge head of steam coming to that 20 car, but I think 20 car popped out of line by himself. Now there's another car, I believe it's the 5. All the energy is going all over the place down the back stretch, Josh.
To help Hunter Peach. That steam on the outside. Ratliff jumps up there in front of Janey. Things get dicey. Look at that middle lane. Who is there behind Cole Snyder? That is 79 JCTV machine of Dawson Allen. He rode around in race 1. I think he doesn't want to ride around in race 2.
No, you mentioned pre-race, he was getting ready to, oh, some car got the wall right there. He's going to have to get ready to crack some energy drinks tomorrow morning, running this doubleheader. I think he got the itch to run in the pack at the tail end of that last race. Like you mentioned, just rode around, but he was there in the last 2 or 3 laps in the pack, just couldn't time it out right enough to get a good finish. And when BSR came here into the Talladega doubleheader last month, Josh, he was in part of one race and had to broadcast the other. Came up so short, and I believe it was the first one, was a 4th place finish, took the same strategy, and he so badly wanted to go back out there and back it up and improve, but obligations to do the broadcast, and maybe tonight he can do that and do a couple spots better.
Yeah, don't remind me about his 4th place finish there that he gets to brag about and rub it in my face, but yeah, I absolutely am excited to see Dawson Allen out here and what he can do. Another thing to note, in a Super Speedway series, he actually won at Talladega last week, albeit it was in the 1978 NASCAR vehicles. But he knows how to get it done at plate races, time and time again. 24 laps to go, coming 23. I'm definitely excited to see where that 79 is going to go. Definitely gotten a little shuffled around up here. Nick Hapiak, he's jumped to the high line. And Chase McGuire, he's going to make a move.
Yeah, he's been glued to the pack bumper of Joshua Arnold almost all race, and they're going to get shuffled up there into turn 3. Thought he was going to get hooked around there. He's going to almost clear Joshua Arnold there, couldn't quite do it. He's going to have to fall back in the middle lane as Chase McGuire. Nick Hapiak up top, trying to go for the lead up there.
That was a very sketchy move that, had Arnold lifted there, probably would have caused a wreck. If McGuire kept going down low, it would have caused a wreck. Great job of everybody there to not make that happen. We stay green, and we are 3 wide, by the way, several rows deep. These guys, they're trying to wreck. They just haven't done it yet. Right now you got Arnold, McGuire, Hapiak. 3 Fords running the show up front. And advantage right now is Arnold.
Hunter Senior, the third car on the bottom, we saw him a lot at the end of that first race, running the top lane. First time I've really seen him tonight up front that is not in that third lane, and he's doing a good job down low behind Josh Arnold and Zach Meredith.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if he really wanted to be up there. If it was just there because that was the best opportunity for him to possibly make a move. But here he's on the bottom. And, you know, some drivers will say they feel safer on the bottom in these kind of races because a lot of times, most of the time, the wreck will go up the track. So if you're on the bottom, you have a better chance to avoid it. So if I'm Hunter Senior, I'm quite content with where I'm at right now. Ratliff, Peach, they make third lane. They've got Jones back there as well. Dwyer getting a push from Hawkins. They're going to go all the way up to the top. Nope. Stay in the middle.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go up to the wall there and also block Tyler Ratliff, but decided to stay in the middle. Here comes Ratliff with Hunter Peach, Byron Jones, Kenneth Cheney, and race 1 winner now up in the mix there on that top lane as they all kind of get accordion there up top, come down a little bit to side draft at 7. Let's see what momentum they have into turn 3. They look clear of McGuire for the moment. Let's see what they got against the 22.
Right now, not a whole lot as Meredith still doing a great job in pushing Arnold. But here comes that outside lane. Ratliff, Peach. They're trying to get to the side of that 22, and McGuire is doing the best he can in that middle lane as well. Wide for that race lead. Shuffling, trying to get into a different line. Take a little ride on board. He sees right now. Arnold still leading this race. He's trying the best he can to hold on for another win. This will be his second iRacing NAOR win. If he's able to hold off the rest of the field, it's going to be tough. Ratliff, the middle lane. McGuire all the way in the top lane. 15 laps to go here. Talladega.
Yeah, saw the lanes between the two. The top lane had completely dissipated. Ratliff went low once he got clear of it, and then McGuire came back, able to take all the momentum that was behind Ratliff at one point to get him up there now on that top lane going towards the lead.
Man. Ratliff to the high line. I saw a little bit of squirreliness there. Making a shove from McGuire, and that checks up the high line. That middle line, that's where you want to be right now. Look at Canfield, third on the middle lane. He's got a chance to make some noise.
He's looking right now too, as everyone kind of darts for position here. And you mentioned middle lane's where you want to be. That top lane is not where you want to be. Trouble Hunter Senior on the apron. Mike Campbell involved, and so is Dawson Allen. Some damage. The 5 Raniers, but they keep going, Josh.
I'm surprised everybody kept it straight. Wow.
Really going to shake up this field. A couple guys were strung out back of the pack, and it's going to allow them to close up, but only the cars now lost from the draft.
Replay of what happened there. Senior just got squirrely.
Yeah, he got squirrely going into turn 1. Then he hit the apron, and it just made it even more upset. Very lucky to keep it on, keep it underneath him. And there we see the live picture of what the pack is now. Very, very, very few cars from what we had a lap ago. Spread out field, but it's gonna make this pack even more intense racing for this lead here.
I'm counting 11 cars in this pack, and Hunter Peach not too far behind, trying to stay in the draft if he can to make it 12. Aaron Jones, he got all the way up to the wall. I'm not sure if he touched it or not. These guys are shuffling around. This is going to be so hard for Peach to stay in this draft. Look for the race lead. It is Hawkins on the outside of Arnold. And behind Canfield, he is the only car in that high line. Make that now him and Ratliff out there. Now Jones jumps to the outside. This guy's still flirting with disaster. Real quick, going back to Peach, I think the smartest thing he can do is just let off, go back to Warehams, Senior, and Staples. And with them organized, and these guys 3 wide, 4 rows deep, I think those 4 should easily be able to catch these guys. 10 laps to go. They've got to hurry. Meredith is the race leader. He has gotten in front of Arnold. But Enrique Quinones and Hawkins, they're not letting Meredith have it solely. As Quinones is to the outside of Meredith. Look at Wygent going all the way to the outside, making it 3 wide. Wygent has a run with Ratliff, and here comes Canfield.
They were oh so close to making that stick and being able to clear Quinones, but not close enough, and they're going to drop all the way back there on the outside lane. But you mentioned Canfield's going to be there to assist down this back straightaway. Up front, it looked like Arnold wanted to poke out there for a second on Meredith, couldn't do it because here comes Quinones with a huge head of steam down the back.
Byron Jones doing a great job pushing Quinones. Maybe those two need just a little bit more help.
And as soon as they got into the corner, they completely lost all the speed they had. They got detached and ruined the momentum. That top lane, though, completely disintegrated and fell in behind them. I don't know what happened there with them.
Six cars bottom lane, 5 cars top lane. 8 laps to go. And Wygent and Canfield, they try to make something happen on that outside lane. Byron Jones goes to the outside with them. That leaves Quinones in the middle all by himself. Capiak moves to the middle. He gets out of line.
Yeah, it was a big move from that 6 car too, but he's got no one right on him to help that speed up. He's going to actually get a push from other way around. Josh Arnold's going to jump out and help him. So now here comes Quinones to draft up Tyler Ratliff. Now Byron Jones stuck on the top with not really a lot of help with Wygent just up there by himself. Now they got a 3rd car up there in that top lane. I believe that's John to help them again. Not a lot of speed there on that bottom lane now as everything is shifted to the middle lanes, Josh. Capiak going to push Arnold back to the lead.
And these two, I think, will be the two that work together the best. Capiak and Arnold, they know each other better than anybody else. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. Coming to 6 laps to go. Arnold leading the way with help from Capiak. And Capiak struggling to stay right there on the back bumper of Arnold. Coming off turn 2. Meredith, he saw the hole, he wanted it. Meanwhile, on the outside lane, there's a lot of shuffling going on.
Yeah, Ratliff left Quinones by himself there to get a push from what is left of that top lane. It's Byron Jones, and it left Quinones by himself, but Wygent moved down to help Enrique, and now they're all shuffling around. Here comes Zachary Meredith. I was waiting for that move to happen. He saw them opening from Cole Snyder moving up, and Meredith blocked it. It's going to be 2x2 for the lead up front.
Not for long. We're about to see 3x3 because here comes Pacey Wygent into Byron Jones. This is just chaos. Arnold, he's still being pushed by Capiak. Needing a little bit more of a push here. Meanwhile, Meredith is being pushed by Snyder. Wygent being pushed by Jones. Middle lane advantage with Meredith. 4 laps to go in race number 2 of the doubleheader at Talladega. Pacey Wygent with the lead. Arnold trying to make that bottom lane around the corner work. Canfield helping that outside line. Canfield, I think, got the wall just a little bit.
He got it more than a little bit. He got it a little bit and then kept riding it. Pacey Wygent clear for a moment, not be able to clear that 22 though. he's going to be able to clear that 17 of Meredith. Byron Jones all by himself. Here comes Tyler Ratliff and John trying to get back up there to help. It's really just these guys going for it now. And unless something happens too quick, the rest of the field is out of contention, Josh.
3 laps to go. Arnold with some steam. It's kind of even. Top lane, middle lane. I'm sorry, bottom lane, middle lane. That top lane, they are trying to figure out something. Look at Snyder, though, looking. Shuts that down as Meredith, I think, was going to go up there with him. And I think Wygen was looking as well. Here comes Byron Jones with help in that 13. Ratliff. Wygen, he's looking to make it back-to-back in sweet Talladega.
They got one car ahead of him. Hopefully gets out of the way. It's going to be a lap ahead of him, but it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate it. And a couple of cars there coming across the start-finish line. Look like they got doored together there at the back of the pack. We'll see if that impacts anything here.
Go. We're coming off turn 4, about to take the white flag. It is going to be any one of these guys' race. White flag is waving at Talladega. Both races stayed caution free.
Wygen's clear. Oh, Arnold's barely got to the inside there.
Cole Snyder way loose there in the background. That's not going to help the middle lane at all. Arnold clear. Jones, he's got to run. Wygen is looking. Oh, Arnold around. They're going to wreck. Who's going to get through? It's going to be Happyak.
Happyak is the only car.
I think Hawkins and Canfield are also clear, but they're not close enough to try to get the draft. It's going to be Nick Happyak taking the race win, Hawkins P2, and how about Jonathan Canfield getting P3?
Wow, what a crazy finish. Everyone almost piling in there on the back straightaway. A very vicious and violent crash with, I think, Zachary Meredith taken off into the catch fence, but Happyak, I think he got a piece of it, but just kept on driving the way the whole field just piled into it. Josh, I think he had to like nab the apron a little bit and just keep wheeling that thing. But a miraculous job on just staying up front the entire race and being there when it counted, of course. And obviously something that happened on the back straight with Josh Arnold, but Happyak gets through with a win tonight.
All right, so last week I was talking with Happyak after our show was finished, and I told Happyak that I was done picking him. I wasn't going to pick him again because every time I don't pick him, it seems like he wins. And I was just saying that. It's because I believe it's more coincidence than anything. I didn't pick him tonight. Guess who wins?
He's gonna burn it right down here on the front straightaway. And Josh, real quick, I went back and looked at that last lap, and it looked like Chase McGuire just pushed Happyak right through poor Joshua Arnold and triggered the crash. And Happyak was just the ball on the bulldozer pretty much and gets through with a win. And I mentioned he caught the apron. That was after the crash. He had avoided the incident already. He was going into turn 3 on the flat and almost spun it out that way and did a great job hanging around the car there. And He had nothing to worry about, like you mentioned. No one was close enough. Hawkins was at the line, a second and a half back, and that's plenty at Talladega. Did not have to worry about here in just a sprint like that.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a replay of that finish here momentarily. I'll tell you what, that was a very crazy finish. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring up that. All right, so here we are. That was just pure chaos happening in.
Wow. Couple cars up in the air. More than just one.
I want to take a ride on board from
Well,
Canfields.
he's up here now.
He
Jonathan,
he is. So while we're taking a
talk
ride
us through
on
this
board,
lap. If you can hear us.
I can hear you guys. It was, as you call it, Talladega Racing, and I just got fortunate with a couple of netcode incidents right here. You probably see it from my onboard. I was going to go top of 3, and I seen the wreck start happening and just log jammed the brakes, got into that car there, and then more contact. I think the 2 I netcoded, those 2 I netcoded, but the only contact I had was the car in front of me and then the 2 into the right side, and that's what allowed me to roll it to P3.
that is just insane. Well, let's get back to looking at this 6 car here. We've got him. We don't want to keep our race winner waiting. So, you know what? Adam, I'll let you take this interview.
Well, hey, Nick, you got a copy here?
I do. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, probably not as well as you. You were able to get through that crash there. We just took another look at it, and what was going through your mind when you got that push from the 7 and kind of launched you right into Josh?
Well, I tore my seat. I was squeezing pretty hard there. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and then I almost did the one thing that nobody wants to do and wreck by themselves after the crash. That was I was obviously pushing the 22s as much as I could so we can get the run, because my goal really was to try, if I could clear that second lane, that would open a run up on the 22 down the front stretch for me. And I got into the back of the 22 and it kind of got him wiggling a little bit. And then when I had lifted just a hair, I got hit from behind at the same time, and I became the meat in the sandwich and just held on for dear life. But I mean, if I did something wrong, I apologize to everybody that was involved in that. I don't like winning races like that. I would have liked to see it 3 wide the way it was setting up, but at the same time, you know, I think this might be my first restriction plate win. I don't typically do good in these, so I guess sometimes survival is key.
Yeah, I agree. Survival was key there. I don't think personally you did anything wrong. It's just the nature of that, the way that happened there. What was that race like from your seat? The entirety, actually the entire night. Really, 2 green races all the way, 2 really wild finishes.
To be honest with you, it's Talladega. I was expecting a lot of cautions. I was not expecting 2 essentially caution-free races. It was hold on, hold your line as good as you could, and hope that your line started moving, because when you're 3 wide, there's really nowhere to go. You're stuck where you're at, and you're just at everybody else's mercy in your line. But that second race, towards the beginning, I made a move. I saw the third lane coming. I moved up the third lane. I'm like, you know what? I've been caught in the middle of every lane. I haven't been able to lead one yet. And I got to the front of that line, and it was like a lap later, everybody bailed on that line. So that didn't work. But, you know, it's like I said, just hold on and hope your line moves.
Well, Nick, congrats again. And before we let you go, any shout-outs, anyone you want to give a huge thanks to after Talladega win here tonight?
Just all my drafting partners tonight. I was working good with the 22, working good with the 69. Everything, I was working great with the 7, all up till right at the end there, but it was a log jam. Things happen. Just great racing from everybody tonight to go essentially 58 laps at Talladega across 2 races and really have next to no problems. Really says a lot about these guys in this league, and I'm excited for next week already.
All right, hopefully we get to talk to you there next weekend in Darlington.
All right, have a good night, guys.
And Nick, before you go, I just have a couple of things I want to say to you. First of all, I told you I wasn't going to pick you again. You were not my pick to win either race. But yeah, congrats on the win. And also, I just want to say to while you're here, to viewers at home, that promo video that we played. Actually, I played it twice tonight because it was that good. Two times twice as nice, you know. That was made by you, Nick Apiak. So I just want to say thank you. That thing looks awesome. I watched it.
I appreciate it.
I got excited. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to watch this thing. And then I was like, wait, I'm the commentator.
Well, I'm glad y'all liked it. I appreciate it.
So, congrats on the win, and I'll let you go celebrate.
All right, y'all have a nice one.
And that was Nick Apiak, winner of race number 2. And so, Adam, what a race we saw there.
Yeah, that was some race. That was pretty exciting finish in both of them. It was pretty cool to see, like Nick just mentioned, pretty much caution-free the entire time. Got 2 crashes there on the last lap of each race, but pretty big crashes in each respectively. But besides that, everyone got to the white flag clean green, and that was a very important part and a very crucial part in these races, really, because if we had a big crash early on when they were running 3 abreast, we definitely wouldn't have had any kind of exciting finish. Probably would have been maybe a little strung out, and maybe one of the best guys we saw tonight would have just dominated the thing, but instead we had no idea who was going to win until the very last second in both races.
So I want to say, I see that it's already updated that we have had 50 total winners in our list. So it's probably updated then for Happyak's win as well. I want to say that was Happyak's 49th NAOR series win across all the platforms that they have been on that he has won. Looks like it would have been his 4th iRacing win in the NAOR series. So 59 wins. And actually, as mentioned earlier, we saw our 50th race winner in the series in Pacey Wygen in that first race at Talladega. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up from us here at Talladega, the NAOR series. Tomorrow night, we see the the ITPN Truck Series. They are going to be starting their chase at Chicagoland. Looking forward to that one. Unfortunately, I'm not a part of the chase, but definitely looking forward to that. Chicagoland is an awesome track and should produce some great racing. Hopefully, 42 machine is up there competing for the race win at the end of it. We've got Slide Jawb returning here as well. I had the Clash earlier this week, and I think they're going to start doing some Daytona racing here pretty soon. And then next week for NAOR, you mentioned it earlier, we're going to Darlington, 128 laps. So looking forward to that one. But that's going to do it from us here at JCTV. Big thanks to all you guys for watching. Drivers, wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't happen. The admins behind the series. Jonathan for joining us in the booth for race 1. And finishing P3 out there, giving us a show. Adam, thank you as always for joining me in the booth. I'm Josh Coppernoll. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.